What's going on, shipheads? Welcome back to Trek Mods. I'm your cheap engineer, Jody LaForgery, and I've got the old vintage Galileo 2 shuttle kit. There's a flea market about an hour's drive from here. We go there once in a while, and if I'm lucky, they have Star Trek stuff. I picked this up, $26.50. Not too bad. I'm gonna build this, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do to it. This is Trek Mods after all. I can't just build it like that. I was looking at videos of Wonderfest, which is about as close to Wonderfest as I'll ever get, is watching the videos on YouTube. And I seen a lot of these shuttles made into crossovers of other ships, like the dog bus from Dumb and Dumber, and the Ecto-1, Ghostbusters, the Star Wars ship. The only one I didn't see was the Planet Express from Futurama. So that's one possibility. I might do that. But we're not opening this today. We're not building this because the flea market where I got this, I also found this Star Trek Vault. 40 years from the archives. It's still got the plastic on it. I opened it. I was already scoping through. 15 bucks. A few stickers on there. Let's see how much they wanted before that. 25 bucks. And that's marked down from 30 bucks. Hey, looks like I got a deal. Thanks, JR. What's the original price? $40 US, 45 Canada. 45. At the back here. When Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek went off the air in 1969 after only 3 seasons, few could have predicted that Kirk and Spock would ever be heard from again. Now, more than 40 years later, the world of Star Trek includes 6 television series, 11 feature films, and countless novels, video games, and comic books. Star Trek Vault charts this remarkable history, covering the franchise's first 40 years. Fully illustrated with more than 300 images, the book also includes 14 reproductions of the most fascinating memorabilia from the official archives, on-set signage, blueprints for Picard's captain's chair, rare trading cards, and more. Star Trek Vault offers a broad perspective on the voyages of Kirk, Picard, Sisko, Janeway, and Archer, and the ultimate treasure trove of Star Trek imagery and memorabilia. All right. So, a little glimpse of what's in the book. All right, shipheads, let's look at that beautiful starship footage, and then we'll start the Star Trek book club. Oh, it's really nice. Don't think it's been handled much before this. Nice picture of the galaxy right there. By the window, I'm trying to get the most natural light possible to avoid glaring. This page isn't shiny. We'll see how this looks. Oh, look at that. Star Trek Vault, 40 years from the archives. There's our boy Spock right there. Live long and prosper, buddy. Live long. He's still living long in all of our hearts. There's the OG Enterprise. Firing phasers. Contents. Whatever. Pause it if you want to read the contents. Content nerds. Oh, there's the, what was that? Nomad. Right? The Wayback Machine. Gentle readers, let's head back to the year 1976 when every evening at 5 p.m. little Scott, his brother, and his dad would gather in front of a wood cabinet and closed television set and tune into KTVU Channel 2 for the nightly tradition, dinner and Star Trek. Yeah, I wasn't able to watch any of the original Star Trek till I was a teenager. We didn't have cable where I lived until I was about 17 or 18, and they just didn't rerun it on the local Canadian channels. Star Trek, the original series, 1966 to 1969. Risk is our business. So yeah, I knew what it was because of the movies, and of course it was so well known. Everybody knew what Star Trek was, but I had never watched any of the originals. I grew up watching The Next Generation. That aired on our national network before we had cable. So I was able to see that right from the beginning. So that was pretty much my first exposure into Star Trek. My mom was a Trekkie, and my mom was a Trekkie, and she got me into it. So, what were those guys? Seen one of those guys in that horrible Section 31 movie. Horrible. By any standard of movie, not just Star Trek. It's just a horrible movie. Terribly made. A couple high points, but meh. The Plight of the Red Shirt, yeah. Long-standing trope. I wonder why, well, apparently Patrick Stewart didn't look good in yellow or gold. So they gave him a red shirt and they changed up the command colors. Look at that. What we got here? Picture of Spock from the animated. Looks like we got a comic book. Planet Eknal's Dilemma. Star Trek coloring book. Cool. Beam us down to the planet, Scotty. Aha, aliens at work. Artificially induced effects. Captain Kirk. Mr. Spock. A symbol of intergalactic friendship flowering. Oh my. Look at that flower. Ah, cool. I'm surprised nobody colored it. Like I said, it doesn't look like this book was handled very much. Got over here a couple other comic book covers. The Planet of No Return. Star Trek Gold Key. 12 cents. Man. I used to think my parents were complaining because my mom would say, when I was a teenager, I could go to the movies and get popcorn and get a float or whatever later on and have a bus fare and everything for like $2. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But now it's like, yeah, I get it. I understand. We got some recreations of photos here. Not so funny, Captain. There's Spock and Bones. Looks like they're hamming it up behind the scenes. Space Race. Little 3D chess. Cool, cool. Teeny Bopper. Little pouch here. Oh, we see Nimoy and Shatner holding the model. Looks like an AMT model. So they say that AMT constructed the scaled up shuttle set for the original series. because they wanted the licensing to make the models of the Enterprise, so it was part of the deal. There's some original action figures. Kinda. Can tell who they are. Mae Jemison. She made an appearance on Next Generation, I think, as an extra. She might have even had a couple lines. What we got here? An iron-on transfer. Keep on trekking. You know what? Maybe I'll throw that up on my... sometimes I say that at the end of my videos. Keep on trekking. Maybe I'll throw that up on my screen when I say that. And then see if I can get dinged with copyright infringement. That's always fun. The highest viewed video I have, which is over 7,000 views, has a copyright claim on it because I used the Wrath of Khan music, which I thought, where I was getting it, said it was royalty-free Star Trek music. So I figured it was safe to use. And I don't know why that video got so many views. Is it because I used the copyright music? I don't know. I don't understand how the views work. I just make starships and hope people want to watch me do it. In the pocket, here's a... So we got the original phaser set. I wonder if they'll show that that helmet, the Spock police helmet with the siren on it. Such an odd item to produce. I think it was a toy from something else and they just put the Spock name on and rebranded it. A picture of the whole cast at the unveiling of the original space shuttle. Never actually went into space, this Enterprise. It was the prototype for the shuttle design. It's kind of like the Excelsior of Earth ships. The Federation's red-headed stepchild. I believe this is the original model in the Smithsonian. Even to this day, I think they still didn't complete the other side of it there with this block. I'm not sure. Oh, look at that. Sort of Warhol-esque depiction of the main crew from the animated series. Yeah, 73 to 74. That's when I was born. The animated series. Times change, Doctor. Times change. By 1973, the success of Star Trek in syndication was such that there began to be groundswell of support for a return to the series. That was much easier said than done. There simply wasn't much financial incentive to produce new episodes, not with the original 79 churning out profit year after year in the syndication market. The original 79. Oh, the original 79 episodes. Okay. I was confused because I was thinking, I saw 79 and my brain interpreted that as 7 of 9, which it often does for some strange reason. let's all run from the Enterprise. See, they had the Enterprise school of running away from things long before the Prometheus school of running away from things. There's Spock running away from as the Guardian of Forever Gate. Don't worry, young Spock. It'll only be worse. I love you guys. This reminds me of the Strange New World episode where you see Spock partaking in the blood wine celebrations with the Klingons. I like that Spock. I like Ethan Peck. He's not trying to do a Nimoy impersonation, but he's still playing Spock. And if you see the cage, you see Spock was a little less in control of his emotions at the time. So I guess some point along the line he decided, look, I need to be more Vulcan and cut back a little bit on the smiling and the laughing and the kissing human ladies. Stickers. Cool. Copyright 1979. I'm so tempted to just stick all these stickers on everything and iron on the patch to a shirt. I've never been one to preserve things the way they are. You can see that in my Starship builds. But I've been doing that my whole life with everything I've had and owned. I customize and change everything, and I try to make a lot of things myself. It's just something I learned as a kid. If you want something and you can't afford it, we didn't have a lot of cash growing up, so if I wanted things, a lot of times I'd have to try to make it myself. My dad was pretty resourceful when it came to reusing things and coming up with ways. This is kind of cool. A pennant. It's just paper, but looks like a pennant. It's perforated so I can tear it out, but I'm not gonna. Spock lives. Wrath of Khan. Hey, oh no, get out of here. So there, the bird got a bite. Bullshit. Pretty much every piece of paper in this house that is exposed has little beak bites in it like that, so well, I might as well take all the things out now. He just ruined it. Stupid bird. Does he got a... Looks like he got a box wrench there. Just gonna fix my motorcycle, and then I'm taking your Starship. Ricardo Montalban. I wonder if this shirt here was made out of fine Corinthian leather, which wasn't really a real thing. It's just a made-up word to sell the leather seats in the cars. Just like hyaluronic acid. It's in all the beauty products, but it's not a real thing. They just made it up. Just make a scientific sounding word. Got Christopher Lloyd as Krug. He's one of my favorite actors, Christopher Lloyd. He also appears on the cover of the Klingon Dictionary, which is another book I have. Maybe we'll get to the Klingon Dictionary book club. The Voyage Home. One of the better installments. We got here some kind of poster. Japanese. Look at that. Star Trek 4 theatrical poster. The Japanese release of Star Trek 4 The Voyage Home. Cool. Leonard Nimoy behind the lens there, directing it. some NASCAR guy behind him for some reason. He's like, tell him to turn left, Leonard. Tell him to turn left. Oh, culture shock. Some Klingons in costume. I've had 2 opportunities to put on the Klingon gear. Halloween parties, of course. Time 1. Time 2. And the beard is real. And most of the hair. I won 2nd place at the costume party for that one. There's Cybok. I don't care what you say about that movie. I don't even know the guy's name. Whoever played Cybok in that movie did a pretty good job. Like, with what they had to work with, I think he portrayed the character in a good way. Row your boat. We got the Kraft marshmallow dispenser. You see it in the frame? No? Did they actually have this? I don't remember. I'll have to watch again, see if they actually had something like that. A prop. General Chang. Klingon obsessed with Shakespeare. One of our proud Canadian actors, along with William Shatner. '87 to '94, Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah, I was 13 years old when it started, and that was my first foray into the Trek universe on a regular basis. Anyways, I had not really watched the movies before, but I had seen them. They would play on TV once in a while. My mom would always want to watch them, but my dad wasn't that much into Star Trek. One of everybody's favorite ships right here, the Enterprise D. Galaxy class. A far removed design change from the original Constitution class. It's like 3 or 4 times the size. I remember that. DeForest Kelly in the pilot episode, Encounter at Farpoint, as Old Bones. There's actually an action figure for this guy at the place, the flea market where I bought this book. They got 2 of him. They got Guinan, and they got the Geordie LaForge, where he turned into a black veiny chameleon thing with the glowing veins. I was thinking about buying them, but I don't know. They've been there for at least 10 years since the first time I went and saw them. There's Gene with the original cast of The Next Generation. Don't see Michael Dorn in there for some reason. I see he was a pretty big part of the first episodes, wasn't he? We got the pad. Or Michael Kuda. So he always put little secret Easter eggs in these schematics, like a rubber ducky and a truck and weird things. And you can notice on an episode of Lower Decks, you see the giant rubber duck. And I think that's a callback to those, because you'd see a rubber duck in the schematics. I have the Next Generation Enterprise D technical manual, and you can see it in the blueprints. There's a Borg arm. Stephen Hawking, of course, played himself, or played a hologram of himself. One day I was staring into the night sky, and the secrets of the universe revealed themselves to me. I knew that I had to be on Star Trek The Next Generation. That's my Hawking impression. Don't want to insult the guy, he was awesome. But he did have a robot voice. It's funny that you don't see more, or it's funny that you don't hear. I guess he kind of made that voice a distinct characteristic of himself, so nobody else really used it. Like, there's more convincing AI voices these days, and he could have upgraded while he was still with us, but he chose to stick with the voice because he felt like that was his voice now. And everybody recognized it as him, and I think it was a good choice. Appearance on Family Guy. Everybody was there. Oh, look at the Worf. What's that? A sippy cup or something? A lunchbox. Oh, cool. Never saw one of those. We got a cute teddy bear. It's just we got a copy of the licensing agreement for the Worf costume. Yep. I remember these. I didn't have the Star Trek ones, but these were basically just some pigment printed on the page that you could dissolve with a bit of watercolor, or a bit of water on a brush. It was watercolor, but just a very, very thin sort of printing of it. Just enough to do the one picture. Although something like this, they should give you a lot less red, a lot less blue, and a lot more red. Just a small thing of gold for his. That's my opinion as an artist. So I remember pretty much every episode. I've watched every episode of The Next Generation at least one time. Some of them 2 or 3 times. I'm not the kind of person that watches everything over and over. My favorite Star Trek movie is First Contact. It's the best of any Star Trek movie in my opinion, and I've seen it a total of 3 times. So I tend not to repeat watch things. Jim and Jean. Jean and Jim. 94 to 2002, The Next Generation films. Okay, we're going to close it for now. That's all the time we have for today. We'll take another look at this book in another video. Nobody's going to sit here for an hour and listen to me talk about this book, are they? I think half an hour is pretty good. I don't like to torture you guys for more than that. What do we got here? Pan tilt. Bob turns and heads towards exit. Enterprise fires photon torpedo. View screen. The remains of bird of prey exits from the cloud. Cool storyboarding stuff. That's a cool picture. I remember that from the DVD covers. We got the Enterprise B coming out of space dock here. Not a fan of the Enterprise B. I like the original Excelsior a little better. I know they added these side things here because they didn't want to ruin the model, because they were still using it in Deep Space Nine and Voyager. So they added this just so they could blow it up when they were supposedly killing Captain Kirk. Alice Krige as the Borg Queen. The first time ever we saw the Borg Queen. Pretty nice book. This paper cover. What's under the paper cover? The same thing? Oh, cool. Cool. That's the Enterprise right there. Cool. All right, well, that's a little bit of the Star Trek Vault. If you guys want to see more, wait for the next installment. Thank you guys for tuning in, clicking on, scrolling down, liking, subscribing, commenting, telling me to shut up, whatever. All comments are welcome. Love you.